Shalom. Kal halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Hamashach Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Kakadash. I pray the true God of Israel, Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Hamashach Yahweh Shai, and His Holy Spirit, the Kakadash. I pray the true God of Israel, Amen. The truth and the fact about witches and warlocks and how they spend their life and time and hours and days with their demons. Now when the witch and warlock first sell their soul to Satan, Lucifer, what do? Well, they do it for many reasons, right? And Satan, he artificially blessed them with fame, money, women, cars, motorcycles, palaces. He artificially blessed them because Satan's blessings are artificial blessings and his curses are natural. And God's blessings and curses are natural. Both of them are natural. But the devil's blessings are artificial and the devil's curses are natural. And the devil's blessings are artificial. Okay. So when the warlock or witch, they first sell their soul to Satan, Satan tells them, you are Lucifer's servant. You are a servant for Lucifer. And he will assign legions of demons to each warlock and witch, because each witch and warlock they have literally legions of demons follow them wherever they go. Okay? With possession and without possession, they got demons. And they're either possessed by the Jezebel or the Lucifer evil spirits. And they got with possession demons. So who control their behaviors and their thinking, their emotions, their feelings, their vision, their behaviors, their appearances? Demons. And without possession, they also got demons. So let's say if a witch who lives in Australia and he wants to curse someone who lives in Canada, he can literally send a demon or demons to come and curse you all the way in Canada while she or he lives in Australia. So with possession they got the demons, and without possession, with and without possession, with possession and without possession they got demons. Okay? So when they first sell their soul to Satan, Satan tells them, you are Lucifer's servant. You are the servant for Lucifer. And the demons, they will be like, we are here to serve you. We are your servants. And you are our king. That's at the beginning. Even in the middle, even at the end. But at the very end, when a Satanist, he doesn't do as Satan tells him to do, all the demons will turn against the Satanist, and the demons, they will become, from treating their warlock as a king, they will treat their warlock, their worshipper, their slave, their child, their worshipper, they will treat the warlock from a king to a slave. Okay? And they will want the warlock to treat the demons, from servants to masters. So the servant-king relationship between the warlock and demons, as the warlock is the king and the demons are the servants, it's all an act. There's no such a thing as servant and king or servant and queen relationship with the demons and with the kingdom of darkness and with the witches and warlocks, like with the narcissists and psychopaths and sociopaths. There is no equal relationship, because the king and servant or queen and servant, they got equal relationship, equal marriage, relationship, friendship, whatever you want to call it. It's equal between the two. But when it comes to the demons and kingdom of darkness and witches and warlocks, it's always there is a master and a slave, always a mistress and a slave. Okay? There's always someone who's at the top and someone who's at the bottom, someone who's the winner and someone who's the loser, someone who's the master and someone is a slave. Always. There's no such a thing as love and respect and stuff, like king and servant. No, there's no such a thing. Somebody have to be on top of the other. Okay? And usually the strong and the smart is on the top of the weak and stupid. That's how it works in the kingdom of darkness. Okay? So in the beginning, the demons, they will act that they're treating the warlock as a king. And they will make the warlock think that the warlock is treating his demons as servants. But later on, at the very end, or whenever a warlock does something wrong, or he doesn't do what Satan told him to do, or let's say it will happen at least once in the warlock's life or the witch's life. Demons at the very end, or even before that, right? Like even in the middle, but it's not in the beginning. Could be in the middle, in the end, or at the very end. The demons, they will turn against the warlock, and they will treat the warlock from a king to a slave, and they will demand the warlock to treat his demons from servants to masters. So the demons are not servants, they are masters. And the warlock is not a king, or the witch, she's not a queen. They are slaves. The warlock and witches, the witches and warlocks are slaves. They're not queens and kings. Okay? And the demons are masters. They're not servants. Okay? And if the warlock, he comes and tell you that, oh look, we are kings and queens and our demons are servants, that's bullshit. Or he tell you that, oh, we are the, okay, nobody is the, okay, he's gonna be like something like, it's gonna tell like, okay, you know what, we're not kings and queens, we are servants for our demons, and our demons are our kings. That's still bullshit. In the kingdom of darkness, there's no servant, there's no king, there's no equal. There's always a master and a slave. Even if they tell you something like, okay, you know what, us witches and warlocks, we are the submissive ones, but we are servants, and our demons are the dominant ones, but they are kings to us. Bullshit. They're not kings. The demons are the masters. They're not servants and they're not kings. They're definitely not slaves. The demons are not slaves, and they're not servants, and they're not kings. They are masters. And the warlocks and witches are not masters, definitely, and they're not masters against their demons, and they're not kings to their demons, and they're not servants to their demons. They're slaves to their demons. Okay? Definitely, 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 definitely. Let me say that one more time. The demons are not servants, kings, or slaves for their warlocks and witches. They're masters against their witches and warlocks, and they will reveal it sooner or later. And the warlocks and witches are not servants, kings, or definitely masters. They're slaves. Okay, whether in the kingdom of heaven, in the kingdom of light, in how God treat his children, God is not going to act and treat his children as slaves. That would be stupid. So God will not do that. God will treat his servant, his worshippers as servants. Obviously, we're not kings to the God, and God is not our servant. We are the servants for God. And if you want to kiss God's feet, that's an extra. You can do that, but God doesn't require you, because that's what narcissists, witches, and warlocks, and demons, and Satan do to their submissive ones. They treat their submissives as slaves, and they want their submissive to worship them, and in return they want their worshippers, who are their slaves, they're not their servants, they're their slaves, to kiss their feet and to worship them, and in return the narcissist and the psychopath abuse their submissive ones. Okay? And they worship like their victims, who are their slaves. They're not their servants, they're their slaves. They end up getting abused and punished by the narcissist, and it's just like a mess, But God doesn't abuse his submissive ones, and he treats them as servants, and he treats them with love and respect and compassion, not with sadism, hate, and disrespect, like Satan, how he treats his worshippers. Okay? Um, and it just and God, when you believe in Yahweh Bashem, Hamashach Yahweh Shah Bashem Kakadosh, when you believe in Yahweh and his only begotten Son, Hamashach Yahweh Shai, and his Holy Spirit, the Kakadash, you become a servant for Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah Bashem Kakadash. And God will assign angels, legions of angels, to follow you wherever you go. And you will become the king to the angels. The angels are here. The angels, they are our servants. They're here to serve us, but they're not slaves, obviously. And we are the kings to the angels. Okay? And the angels, they serve us. They are our servants. And we are the kings to them. And we are kings and queens to them. But we are servants for Yahweh Bashem, Hamashach, Yahushua Bashem, Kakadash. And we are definitely, can be even lower than servants. We can become, if you want, you can kiss the Lord's feet. That's an extra if you want. God doesn't force you to do that, but if you want, you can do that as an extra. Okay? But we're servants, nevertheless, for the Lord, not slaves. Kal halal ya hava başım hamaşak ya şab başım kankaş.